writers, welcome to week 8. This video is going over what's happening this week. We are working on 2 different paths of work this week as we phase out our rhetorical analysis unit and then transition into the Book of Joy by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. For the first part of this week, we're going to discuss the 2-page reading responses that we started talking about last week. You guys have already done Wild Mind 2-page reading response for Natalie Goldberg's work, and now you have 2 more reading responses due this week. By the end of the week, not essays, but reading responses where you are looking at these 2 texts here, Taylor Swift's Calm Down and Martin Luther King Jr.'s Letter from Birmingham Jail. These are the links to the assignment folder. If you click on one, you'll see the actual assignment here. It's telling you what you're going to be doing, so you can follow, you can look at how I'm grading it. But remember that you're looking specifically at these pieces in the context of the rhetorical triangle. And so for Taylor Swift, you're going to do that, and then you're also going to do that for Martin Luther King Jr.'s Letter from Birmingham Jail. The first part of this week in class, Monday or Tuesday, depending on which class you're in, we're going to discuss these just a little bit, but we're really going to start moving into our next unit, which is the Book of Joy. I just want to give you a reminder that for these 2-pagers, I am looking very specifically at your ability to make a connection to the rhetorical triangle. Remember, we have pathos and we have ethos and logos, and looking specifically at those things in these texts. So don't forget, if you need help or if you want feedback, make sure that you work with me or a tutor in the Writing Center. You can work with Irene, or you can work with Ray, or you can work with a peer. But getting feedback is crucial for building your confidence and helping you stay on top of your work, and also earning that 4 hours out of class. So remember, you should be working on your writing 3 hours a week outside of class. Technically, it's 5 hours a week outside of class, or 4 hours, I guess it would be. It's supposed to be double the units. We're in a 4-unit class. That's 8 hours a week just for English VO1A, which doesn't seem very realistic. So I put on here 3 hours a week because that seems more realistic and also more doable. Remember that it's your opportunity to shine and to grow, and that requires practice, and practice takes time. So moving on, we're going to start the Book of Joy this week, and we are looking at the background of our 2 amazing writers. Well, we have 3 amazing writers. We have the Dalai Lama, and we have Douglas Abrams, who is the editor and compiler of the time that the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu spent together. We have Desmond Tutu. So this particular discussion, which we will start in class this week, is helping you get to know the Book of Joy by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu with our editor Douglas Abrams and our compiler, and really kind of understanding the context from which this book has been created. So for this discussion, we have 2 videos, and we also have an article here, so I'm just going to click on it. And this talks about these 2 great spiritual leaders. We have a little video with the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. And then in the other 2 videos, we also have the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. So you're going to read and take notes in your journal of the Book of Joy, the page 9, Roman numeral 9 through 26, and take notes in your journal to use in class discussion. And in this discussion, we're still looking at rhetoric and how ideas are being presented. And also, when you post to the discussion, you're going to share a line from this section or this reading that grabs you, explain what it means and why you picked it. I'm actually going to edit this discussion just a little bit so it makes a little bit more sense. You are going to discuss what you saw and heard in the videos. Refer to your notes, and then share a line from the reading. I'm just going to put the reading that grabbed you or got you interested, got you thinking. Explain what it means, why you picked it, and how it relates to the world today. So remember to follow the discussion. Six to 8 sentences. Remember to follow directions so you're pushing your thinking, and so you're growing and applying your critical thinking ideas, and it's more personalized for you. So again, this week, whether you're in Monday or Tuesday class, we're starting this discussion together. I'm just going to go back to the home page. The next discussion is day 1, so you're going to click on it. If you look in your actual book, because we'll dork out today and look at the table of contents and all that stuff, the book is divided into 5 days. 5 days that the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu were together at a conference with the two of them, thinking about joy and how to manifest that in our lives, what the obstacles to joy are and what the pillars of joy are. And so this book, the content of this book, takes place over 5 days, and Douglas Abrams was there with them, recording all of this wonderful, wonderful mischief that these two spiritual leaders engaged in, so that we could enjoy it. So for the discussion, we're looking at day 1, the nature of true joy. And we have 4 different, well, actually we have 1 section, and it's called Why Are You Not Morose? And so that is the beginning. So I just want to show you this amazing picture of those 2 little mischief makers. And so this particular part of the book, introduction, the invitation to joy, is the first part. And then we move on to the introductory part, which is what I'm asking you to read. And so all the way up through page 26. There's a couple little sections in this part, and so make sure that you're annotating, highlighting, underlining, taking good notes, because we're also working on our reading skills. We have our books, so we have a perfect opportunity to work on reading and writing skills, specifically as we engage with the text. So for this discussion, you're reading that section. It's 27 through 78. You should have already read that introductory part. In the last discussion, you're taking good notes, and then you're writing 2 paragraphs in response. So we have 2 things here. We have the reading, this section, and then we also have the interview with the Dalai Lama. And so one great way to get to know someone is through interviewing. So you can watch and listen and take notes, and then you're going to make sure that you post your 2 paragraphs and respond to a classmate. So these discussions are going to take time, so take your time with it, enjoy the book, take good notes, and let the material sink in so that you can be more mindful of the obstacles to joy and the pillars of joy as you move forward towards creating more happiness in your own life. Have a wonderful week 8. Don't forget to work with the tutor or get feedback or come and see me during my office hours, and we can enjoy the book of joy together.